morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. So yesterday we had a makeup day for anyone that needed to catch up on any unfinished work. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting day 19, but we're going to be using some materials from our new packet that we just received and some materials from our second packet that are still in there that we're going to combine together. So today our first activity to get us started is it's our reading sequence, The Storm. So this piece of this activity and this reading is actually going to be found in the new packet that should have been delivered yesterday. So this reading is from our new packet, so you want to make sure that you're taking it out of packet number 3, and it's titled The Storm. But we're going to go over materials that we are going to need in just a few seconds. But first I just want to recap the meaning of sequence. Now remember, sequence is to put in order. So first, second, third, or first, then, next. Those are the type of words that we're going to be hearing about when first when we do our reading, but then also as we sequence other types of activities. So I'm going to go over our sequence of how we are going to complete the activity, and then I'll go over the materials that we need. So our first step is we're going to read the story. We're going to read the story from start to finish. Then we're going to cut out our pictures. There's 4 pictures that we're going to need to cut out. Then we're going to go back and read each sentence and glue the picture down that matches the sentence that we just read. And we're going to repeat this process until we have all our pictures glued down. Then at the end, we're going to write all our sentences on our writing paper. As we go over and complete each step, we'll reference our sequence order. So materials that you're going to need for this is, like I said in the beginning of the video, you're going to need the reading, The Storm, which is going to be in your new packet that you just received. So it has our reading, and then when you flip over to the back, it has our writing paper attached. You're also going to need scissors to cut out our 4 pictures, glue or tape so we can glue or tape our pictures down, and then also a pencil so we can put our name at the top and complete our writing on the back. I'm going to go over the materials one more time. Our first material is from the new packet. You're going to be getting the reading, The Storm. It's going to have our reading on the front. On the back, it will have our writing. You're going to need scissors to cut out the 4 pictures below, and then glue or tape so we can glue or tape the picture that in each of the boxes that represents the sentence. And then you're also going to need a pencil so we can write our first and last name, and then a pencil so we can complete our writing on the back. So I'd like you to gather that material, all those materials out. If you need a little bit of extra time gathering those materials, please pause the video here, and then you can press play when you have all those materials in front of you. And then we'll begin with our first sequence step. So our first sequence step is we're going to read the story. So as a whole group, as I read the story, you're going to follow along and read with me. So let's begin. We start with the title, which is The Storm. You'll also be noticing that there's some sight words in here that we should be able to recognize automatically because we have been practicing with them. Alrighty, so we'll go back to our title and you're going to follow along and read with me. The Storm. First, dark clouds fill the sky. Next, the wind starts to blow. Then, lightning flashes and thunder booms. Last, it starts to rain. So now, we just completed our first step of our sequence, read the story. The second step of our sequence is we're going to cut out our pictures. So this is where you're going to need your scissors, and it's probably best if you actually pull your paper apart from the staple like this. So now you're just creating 2 pieces of paper because you're going to have to cut out your pictures at the bottom along the dotted lines. And this is where you're going to have to pause the video because you're going to have to cut out those 4 pictures. I'm going to keep mine intact because you guys are going to glue the pictures on your own. So I'd like you to pause the video here and cut out the 4 pictures at the bottom. When you have finished cutting out the 4 pictures on the bottom, you can press play again, so then we can go over step number 3. All right, so by now everybody should have their 4 pictures cut out at the bottom, and they should be spread out in front of you. That way you can view them all. So we completed step 1, which is read the story. We completed step 2, was to cut out our pictures, and now we are on step 3, which we're going to read each sentence and glue the picture in the box. So as I read each sentence, I want you to follow along with me, and then you're going to find the picture that represents that sentence, and we're going to glue them in below. So again, let's first start by reading with the title. Remember, the title tells us what our text is going to be about. So we have the storm. First, dark clouds fill the sky. So you're going to find the picture that shows a cloud, and you're going to glue that picture over number 1. So you're going to take your glue or your tape, find the picture that represents the sentence. First, dark clouds fill the sky, and you're going to glue it on number 1. Now moving to our second sentence. Next, the wind starts to blow. Now you're going to find the picture that represents the sentence. Next, the wind starts to blow, and you're going to glue that picture or tape it on number 2 to represent the second sentence that we just read. Now we're going to move on to read sentence number 3. Then lightning flashes and thunder booms. So now you're going to find the picture that represents that sentence. Then lightning flashes and thunder booms, and you're going to glue or tape that picture over number 3. And now we're going to read our last sentence. Last, it starts to rain. So you're going to glue that picture that you have, and you're going to glue it on number 4. So now your paper, when you look at your paper, you're going to have a picture covering all your numbers. So you have a picture that represents sentence number 1, a picture that represents sentence number 2, a picture that represents sentence number 3, and then a picture that represents sentence number 4. So if we go back to our sequence on how we're going to complete the activity, we completed step 1, which was read the story. We completed step 2, was to cut out our pictures. We completed step 3, in which we read each sentence, and then we glued the picture above. And now we're on step 4. We're going to write all our sentences on our writing paper. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get that writing paper that you put aside, and you're going to get out your pencil. And just like we have been doing, we're going to copy each of the sentence on each of the lines. Okay? So remember, the first word of the sentence is traced out for you, so that indicates the start of the sentence. So if we look back at our reading, the first sentence we're going to copy on this section is going to be, first, dark clouds fill the sky. So you're going to use your reading as a model for your writing. So you're going to copy the sentence from your reading onto your writing paper, tracing the first word of the sentence. Just a friendly reminder that when we're practicing our writing and we're writing sentences, we're always beginning our sentence with a capital letter. We're making sure that our words are spaced out and not clumped together. And we're ending our sentence with a punctuation. In this case, all of our sentences should be ending with a period. So I'm going to actually complete the first sentence with you together, and we can write it together on our writing paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the word first. And I'd like you to do the same as I am tracing the word first. Then I'm going to go back and look at my reading, and I'm going to continue copying these words on my writing paper. So we already have first down, and then we're going to write on our writing paper, dark clouds fill the sky. So I'm going to begin copying. And I'm going to remember, I'm using my reading as my reference. So first, then we're going to write dark clouds. And I'm taking my time as I write each of my letters, all lowercase. Fill. Now remember, when you run out of room here, we're not smushing the words. We're dropping down to our next line to continue writing. So first, dark clouds fill the sky. Making sure I end my sentence with a period. So I copied the first sentence from my reading onto my writing paper. I have a capital letter. I have spaces in between my words, and I made sure that I ended my sentence with a punctuation mark, which is a period. Now your job is you're going to then copy the next 3 sentences on your own. First by tracing the first letter, the first word of the sentence, and then using your paper to copy the rest of the words from the reading onto your writing paper, taking your time. So then that would bring us to completing our sequence step 4, and then we would be finished. When you're done with your writing, you can have a parent or an older sibling or an adult take a picture of both your reading portion and your writing so I can see what a nice job you did. After reading, it's going to be time for math. So I will see you all back for math.